Welcome back, Miami Dolphins. We're just going to be discussing something very quick right now. They are in active talks with, it looks like, Rasul Douglas in free agency. So we're going to see what we end up doing. Probably something is going to happen towards Thursday-ish, somewhere around then, because that's when training camp starts. So like I said, I think they were always going to get a free agent corner. I didn't think they were going to go out and just not get one at all and just deal with what we had. And it looks like it's always going to have been Rasul Douglas. I'm telling you right now, you bring Rasul Douglas, when he was in Green Bay, dude was a stud. Like, I think he had like 1 year with like 7 interceptions or something like that. That's all we needed, really. Like, when you take a look at this team, that's really all we needed. We didn't need 3 different corners like everybody. I think a lot of fans, they were like, all right, sign Asante, Rasul Douglas, and Mike Hilton, and just have like 3 free agent 30-year-old corners. Well, one's 26, but it wasn't going to happen like that. We're going into a youth movement, and Rasul Douglas is the perfect one to kind of veteran lead Kader Kohu, Cam Smith, all of those players, and make them into the guys that they need to be. So it looks like right now we're coming close. And like I said, Rasul Douglas, when you think about a cornerback, I think he will fit in this system perfect if we do sign him. I really think that it's happening. It's just we needed to get all our P's and Q's in order. And it looks like, again, this was the only piece that we were missing. You know, Rasul Douglas, a cornerback, was the only piece that we were missing. Now when you look at this defense, because, like I said, I'm pretty sure they're going to sign either him or Asante. It's just, Asante, he has a neck injury that, you know, if you don't want to sign someone like that right now. You want to see him play well because if he gets on the field and he has another, weird tackle, messes his neck up, you don't have a cornerback. Whereas Rasul Douglas, he's much bigger, doesn't have an injury history too much, and he can come in and really just lead the young corners. Hopefully, one of them being Cam Smith and Kader Kohu, and try and get them into a point where they can now. You sign them for a year. I would say max 2 years with an out after this year. Sign him for a year. You draft your cornerback next year. I think that's something that we definitely need to address. Or draft a cornerback in the draft next year. And you have this dude kind of taking that, like teeter-totter, that transition into that youth movement year. And it'd be the perfect addition. You have a guy that can come in, step in, do what you need to do. He's not going to be elite. He's not going to be like a Jalen Ramsey, but you don't need him to be. Our front seven is so stacked that you don't really need Pro Bowl, All-Star, MVP corners. You just need someone that can stay on someone for at least 2 seconds to let our guys get to the quarterback. And I think that's why this is going to be the perfect signing this coming year. And coming into training camp, when you take a look at this team now, I'm telling you, especially on the defensive side, let's be real, I don't think we've had a more complete Miami Dolphins team. I mean, usually it's always one side or the other. It's usually either defense or we have offense. We never have both. And looking at this team, we'll make a video probably tomorrow about the offensive line. But looking at this team, I mean, this is probably the most complete team. We get Rasul Douglas from free agency. I mean, you have Melifonwu and Fitzpatrick. Yeah, Fitzpatrick in the back. You have your cornerbacks pretty much set. And then you have a front seven that, I mean, in my eyes, there's probably around 4 Pro Bowlers on that front seven, with our linebacker core and with our outside linebackers, with our defensive ends, defensive tackles, all of it. We have a very solid setup. And then you go to the offense, and, if the offense gets it together, I know a lot of people are sitting there going, this team is going to suck, 5-12 or whatever everybody's saying. I'm telling you right now, I mean, getting Rasul Douglas, I think this becomes a very, very scary team because, like I said, both sides of the ball are set. We have killers on both sides of the ball, and this would probably be the most complete team, not even to mention, I know people are sleeping on him, but Darren Waller is our tight end now, which I'm going to be 100% real with you. Darren Waller is a step up from Jonnu. I get it. He was out of the league for a little while, but I mean, Jonnu never would have a season like Darren Waller, and I like Jonnu, but Darren Waller is a guy that, really, if you unlock his potential, which we have his offensive coordinator that did when he was at his peak, you have a guy that can definitely separate himself in that tight end room. And like I said, you signed Rasul Douglas. You probably have the most complete team right now that you've had. I mean, I can't even remember, really, like, to have a team like this. I mean, it all depends on Tua staying healthy, but the defense is stacked. Like I said, you get Rasul Douglas, it's stacked. You have everything you need. Kader Kogu is going to be serviceable on the outside, and if you have Rasul Douglas and you have two boundary corners, and you put Cam Smith in the slot, or I don't know, Isaiah Johnson, or I don't know, we have a multitude of players. This team will be stacked. Now that we're going for Rasul Douglas, we just needed to sign who we needed to sign. We needed to trade who we needed to trade. Now you just get your dude that's going to be on the boundary for this year, and you got everything. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. As always, guys, fins freaking up, baby. I'm actually very excited about this team. I think this team can be very good, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. As always, guys, fins up, baby. Love you all. Peace.